Podcast 228, Dance of Raindrops and the Art of Culinary. Copyright 2025. ISBN 978-976-9771970. Welcome back. I am Dr. William Anderson Gittins, DD, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today. We've got a thought-provoking conversation lined up, one that ventures deep into the delicate interplay between nature's artistry and creative precision of culinary presentation. Today's podcast is about recognizing art in the most unexpected places and how, when we pause and truly observe, we begin to notice the profound connections between things we often overlook. This idea hit me during a simple rain shower. Now, I know that might sound a bit cliche at first, but bear with me. I am not just talking about the beauty of rain for rain's sake. I'm talking about how something as transient and fleeting as raindrops can reflect the very essence of art, beauty, and creativity, qualities we're often associated with human craftsmanship. Raindrops on flowers, or the deliberate and careful plating of a dish at a celebration. They share a deeper aesthetic philosophy, and through the lens of photojournalism, we can begin to see how these natural and human-made phenomena speak to one another in surprising ways. Photography as a bridge between nature and art. Earlier today, as I stood watching the rain pour down into my window, something struck me. I was mesmerized by how each raindrop seemed like a tiny universe, delicately landing on each petal of the flowers outside. The rain was falling in a rhythmic, almost choreographed way, but it wasn't until I reached for my camera, my Canon Rebel T6, that I fully realized what was unfolding before me. The camera wasn't just a tool to capture an image, it became a bridge between me and the world around me. Photojournalism is an art of reframing the ordinary and transforming it into something extraordinary. By capturing raindrops, I was interpreting a moment in time, a fleeting moment that might have otherwise been lost in the rush of everyday life. It reminded me of how chefs use their own tools, whether it's a knife, a spoon, or their hands, to frame a meal and turn it into an experience. A plate of food is no longer just sustenance, it's a narrative, a sensory journey. In this way, I realize the same principles that guide a photojournalist are akin to those of a chef. Both artists work with texture, light, and form to elicit an emotional response. They manipulate their materials, whether that's a raindrop or a carrot, transforming them into something that sparks awe and meaning. The intersection of nature and culinary arts. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Imagine for a moment the parallel between sparkling raindrops and glittering sauces. They might seem worlds apart, but what if they share more than just aesthetic appeal? Think about the visual appeal of a glossy sauce, how it reflects light, creates contrast, and elevates the dish. It's the same kind of beauty you see in shimmer of raindrops on a flower petal. Both draw you in, enticing you to pause and appreciate the intricate play of light, texture, and form. The comparison doesn't stop at the visual. There's also the sensory experience. When you look at a perfectly plated dish, you're not just seeing art, you're smelling tasting and experiencing it. Similarly, the raindrops with their delicate nature are not just seen, they are heard as they hit the ground, felt as they touch your skin. The world of art is often discussed in terms of the senses, and nature itself, in its purest form, is a feast for the senses, just like a carefully crafted dish. Nature has a way of engaging all of our senses simultaneously. This notion connects to a broader philosophy of beauty and creativity. Whether in a garden or at a banquet table, what we encounter in the world of art is often a combination of the intricate and the fleeting. These elements remind us of something much larger: the forces of nature, human ingenuity, and divine design all intertwined. Philosophical and spiritual insights on nature's artistry. One of the things I've been thinking about as I reflect on this connection is the deeper philosophical and spiritual implications. As the Bible reminds us in Ecclesiastes 3:11, I quote, "He has made everything beautiful in His time," end quote. The beauty of raindrops and the beauty of a dish are not accidents. They are manifestations of a larger divine craftsmanship. What's remarkable is that in both cases, beauty often arises from chaos or unpredictability. The rain, as it falls in seemingly random patterns, is in fact creating something purposeful, nourishing the earth and cultivating life. Similarly, in a culinary setting, chaos can emerge as a perfect presentation. A chef may start with raw ingredients, chaotic in their own right, but with skill and intention, they transform them into something that speaks to the soul. At the heart of this is the concept of interconnectedness. Just as raindrops merge together to create one unified drop before falling, the elements of a dish come together in harmony to form a singular experience. The entire process, whether in nature or in the kitchen, speaks to collaboration, purpose, and divine design. These small, seemingly insignificant components, whether droplets of water or grains of salt, come together to create something larger, something beautiful. Exploring the role of beauty in everyday life. This brings us to a central theme of today's discussion: beauty in everyday moments. We tend to rush through life, often overlooking the small yet stunning details that surround us. But when we slow down and truly observe, whether it is through a camera lens or while enjoying a meal, we can begin to recognize the artistry in the mundane. I mentioned earlier how raindrops on flowers seem to transform the flowers themselves. They go from being simple petals to becoming masterpieces in the light, glistening with the beauty of nature. Food does the same thing. It's not just about nourishment, it's about transformation. Just as a raindrop enhances the flower, a sauce can elevate the ingredients on a plate. There is an intentionality in both cases, a celebration of beauty and life through human hands and natural processes. Final reflection and call to action. As we wrap up today's conversation, I want to leave you with this thought: in both nature and in art, beauty is often hidden in plain sight. Whether it's in the ephemeral beauty of a raindrop or the lasting impression of a perfectly crafted dish, we are constantly surrounded by creativity and artistry. If only we take the time to pause and observe. I encourage you to take a moment today to look around you. Whether it's a garden after a rain shower, a dish at your dinner table, or simply a moment of stillness in your day, notice the artistry that surrounds you. In these small moments, we can find deep meaning and creativity, reminders that beauty exists in both the grand and the simple. Remember, nature and art are reflections of a divine craftsmanship that unites us all. The creativity of the chef, the photojournalist, and the natural world, all these forces converge to show us that beauty and purpose exists everywhere in everything. Let us slow down, observe, and recognize the divine artistry in the world around us. Thank you for joining me on podcast 228 today. I hope this conversation has inspired you to pause and appreciate the art of life. Until next time, keep reflecting and celebrating the unexpected beauty in your everyday existence. My final quote: the creation of a dish and the ephemeral beauty of raindrops both provoke thoughts and emotions, connecting us to something beyond the material. Thank you. God bless.